I wanted to show you this Bon Jovi fan club letter that I received back in 1991 as a 12-year-old. Back then, as you know, there was no internet, no online pages, there was no social media or music streaming. You had to get physical copies of the music or hope that it aired on MTV or the radio or VH1. And in my home, MTV and VH1 were punishable crimes. I also want to state that in those days, I really was living on a prayer, just like the song states. The relationship that I had with my parents was far from normal. There was abuse. My father was a violent alcoholic, and my mother a classic enabler. And I had no siblings. So when I wrote the Bon Jovi fan club, what I wrote was actually a desperate cry for help. I figured no one would answer. I thought I was throwing a snowflake into a snowstorm, so to speak. But Mrs. Carol Bon Jovi, John Bon Jovi's mother, actually wrote back. And here was what I suspect got her attention about my letter. I wrote that my parents did not appreciate the music of Bon Jovi, but I had told them to back off. Now that was true. But there were a lot of things, very normal things, which neither of my parents signed off on or approved of. So this was what Mrs. Carol Bon Jovi wrote to me. Thank you for your letter. Hope you join the family. Don't underestimate your parents' wisdom. Listen to Bang a Drum. Share it with your mom and dad. I bet they'd love it. Love, Mrs. Carol Bon Jovi, John's mom. Now, when she said to join the family, I nearly cried. You can understand, I'm sure. But I managed to get a hold of that song and the soundtrack it was on, called Young Guns, on a cassette. I knew it was unsafe to share the song with my father and mother, and Carol could not have known that. But it seemed to me that what she might have been telling me was, don't stop praying. And let me tell you folks, I never stopped praying. And lately I've been thinking about that song. Sometimes people prefer to have a tangible drum, so to speak, when they are praying, in the form of candles, incense, or other little accoutrements or trinkets. And that's okay, provided that you are not worshiping those objects. And sometimes that drum we bang in prayer is all subtle on the inside, and that's okay too. And prayer is not for nothing. We have a God who loves us and answers in some very surprising ways. This letter from Mrs. Carol Bon Jovi was a very surprising answer to prayer. I had no idea that she passed away this last month of July 2024, July 12th. And I just want to say, God rest her soul. Here's the actual letter right there. And you can see I blocked out my name and address for privacy, but this was what you got in the mail. There's another side here. Mail order fan club. If you wanted something, you had to send away for it. There are a couple things I circled there, but I knew I would never get them. So, I just wanted to share this with you. Thank you for watching, like, and subscribe.